Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just a few seconds away from the start of the hour, and we're here to serve you as we love to do on our many social media channels. And if you have been familiar with our free events that we do from time to time on social media, what we're doing is we're going live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the exact same time. So if it looks like I'm not looking at you or my eyes are going somewhere else, it's because I'm actually staring at two computers and an iPhone in front of me. So I'm going to welcome you all in and invite you into this space where we're going to invest approximately 30 minutes together. And the idea behind the time that we've chosen to serve you is to help you, to give you some guidance, to give you a deeper level of understanding so that you can create more of what you would love to experience in your life, so that you can absolutely be living your desired life, a dream life, if you will, which for many people, they are not experiencing. They are in a state of struggle. And so we decided to call today's event How Your Habits, How Your Mindset, and How Your Emotions all play a role in your results. And the real important place to start with all of this is to have you understand that enormous power that you have within you, that you have the ability, the true ability within you, and everything that you need is within you to create an amazing life, an extraordinary life. And it may be completely different to what you're experiencing today, or it may be slightly different or slightly better. But the truth is, you have that power. And what we do at my organization, at Dynamic Destinies, where I'm blessed to co serve with a number of extraordinary individuals who are here with us right now, is what we do is we want to help you recognize that power that's within you, discover how to tap into that power that's within you, and then utilize it for good, for your good, for the greater good, for producing what it is that you result. So, joining me today is Vladdy and Roddy. And I suspect that, hey, Tommy's here too. Hey, Tommy, good to see you. Missy Moo is here. Love the name. That's adorable. And so, we're going to talk about your habits and emotions, and really what your habits and emotions are. Where do they come from? And how do they contribute to what your mindset is? So I want you to think about what your results are in your life right now. But when I suggest that, to think about the results that you have in your life right now, I'm going to suggest that you do that not from the perspective of judgment, but simply from the perspective of having the awareness to notice. Notice, is everything in your life the way you would love for it to be? Are your relationships the way you would love for your relationships to be? Is your financial situation the way you would love for it to be? Is the home that you live in a home that you would love to live in? Is everything in your life, from your health to even your state of mind, how you feel, is it the way you would love it to be? Now, I simply want you to be aware of that, because awareness can give you power, because it's important to know where you are before you know where you want to go. Not that we're going to belabor that or invest a significant amount of time criticizing it or trying to figure out why we are the way we are. We're really here to help you get to where you want to go, to help you experience and to have you experience that with absolute ease. Okay, Annie's here as well. Okay, beautiful. So I love what Suzanne says. She said, it can get better. Absolutely. Suzanne is completely right about that. Everyone's life can get better, including my own. And that's absolutely what I focus on every single day. So let's start to talk about your mindset and how your mindset got to be the way it is today. You see, mindset is based on your consciousness. And there's two parts to your consciousness. Well, there's a third part as well, but let's talk about what's resident within you. There's a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Conscious mind is your rational mind. This is your thinking mind. This is where you have the ability to accept or reject ideas. This is also a reasoning mind. And within your conscious mind, you take in information through your senses. And as you're taking in the information, whether you're deciding to accept it or reject it, or whether the information is simply coming in and you're not even aware, and you're just choosing to allow information to come in to or through your senses, what you will discover is that through repetition or through emotional intensity, you will accept an idea into your subconscious mind and it becomes a part of your belief system. It becomes a part of your heart. It becomes a part of your identity. It's a very strong part of who you are, and it really is governing everything about you. It's like an automated system, your subconscious mind. And when you know that and understand that, and then you choose to only focus on and give attention to the things that you desire, to getting in harmony with and feeling as if those desires are already in your life, this is where you create magic. So regardless of where you came from, regardless of what your results are up to now, you have an opportunity. Everyone has this opportunity. And the opportunity is to create anew. And you create anew based on gathering new information, or it could be old information, but you have an open mind and you're ready to accept this information into your consciousness so that you can build a support system or build a belief system that is only in harmony and supportive of your outcomes. It's like the foundation. So across the street from where I live, there is a new home that's being constructed. And prior to the beginning of the construction of this home, there was some work that was done. Now, before the work was done, what we observed was an empty field, right? Empty field, opportunity. Think about your life, opportunity to make it better, as Suzanne had mentioned earlier. So you have an opportunity. So here was an empty lot or an empty field with an opportunity to create something. So the person that owns the lot made a decision that they were going to create and build a beautiful home. But in order to do that, they had to have a picture. So think about results that you would love. You have to have a picture. You have to have something that you know what it's going to look like when it's done. It may not be done yet. You may not actually see it. And the evidence may not be there just yet, but the concept is there. The understanding is there. And the vision of the end result is already there. And this occurs for anyone who's ever built a home or a custom home. And so they made a decision. What is it going to be like? Is it going to be 2-story? Will there be triple garage? Are they going to have lots of big windows? Will there be an outdoor patio? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? Is there a dining room and a living room, a family room, a kitchen? How big are they? What's the design of that? And they get to choose, just like you do. You get to choose what you would love to have or experience or build in your life. And once that was done, then a plan was created, which was, what are we going to do in order to get here? Now, in the case of goals and objects, like objectives, manifestations, you don't have to know how you're going to do it. In the case of a house, you do need to know how you're going to do it, but you have to take some action. And what happened is, with this particular home, is as we observed the construction of it, they started with first the foundation. They didn't start with the second story. They didn't start with the main floor. They started with the base, the foundation. And this is where I suggest that you work on, is your foundation. Now, what's fascinating about working on your life or working on your goals is it's something that's constantly being revised. And the reason why goals are constantly being revised and why you set or create new goals is because you are evolving. You are constantly expressing a newer version of who you are when you're committed to growth, when you're committed to creating better in your life. And it absolutely takes a commitment. And so when you have the commitment to create better results in your life and you get on with the work, this is when you're going to produce amazing results, provided that the emotions, and this is one of the things that we chose to focus on today, the emotions are intense in a good way, in a positive way, and that you are seeing the result of what you desire and feeling it right into fruition. And so the emotions that you choose to have and express are emotions of joy, emotions of gratitude, emotions of love, perhaps emotions of relief. And there's no right or wrong answer as far as which emotions you're going to feel. You get to choose which emotions to feel. But the truth is, the stronger you're feeling this sense of knowing in your heart that your desire is already here, the better it's going to go for you. And the faster it's going to go for you as well. So, because we're emotional beings, we tend to get into habits of feeling certain things in a habitual way. And so, people that have been in the habit of not producing what they desire, and that's not a judgment or a criticism, it's simply an observation, they're experiencing habitual ways of being. And the habitual ways of being may look like something like frustration or disillusionment, or perhaps hopelessness, or maybe it's a little bit of anger, could be some guilt, could be worry, or whatever. Now, every emotion that I just mentioned in the last 10 seconds or 12 seconds, so however long it took to mention them, are destructive emotions, and they will destroy. They will destroy your dreams. And so, even though you may not see the evidence of what you desire in your life right now, and even though everything that's opposite of what you have and desire in your life is not in your life right now, you have to pretend. You have to act as if. You have to actually imagine, use your imagination, which is your mental faculty, and everyone has it. Imagine what it would be like were your dreams in your life, or you're living your dream life, or your goals were already manifested. And you can do it. And if you're saying you can't, you're in your own way. You can absolutely do it. There's nobody here or nobody that's watching this that cannot do this. And so you get into the habit of feeling into your desires. And you do this by consciously choosing to discipline yourself. And once you discipline yourself, you can absolutely create the habits. Now, think about someone who is in the habit of working out. I have a really good friend, and she's a fitness instructor, and she's now in her 50s, and I've known her for 30 years. And one of the things that I asked her one time, I said, how did you get to the point where you were habitually exercising? Because she was exercising every single day. And she didn't do it grudgingly. When she'd go to exercise, she did it lovingly, willingly. Why? Because she loved the result. Now, in the beginning, she told me that it was a challenge to get into the habit to go because she hadn't been in the habit to go to the gym on a regular basis. And so once she got into the habit of going to the gym on a regular basis, it became something that she just didn't even have to think twice about. She would get up, pack her gym stuff, and head off to the gym first thing in the morning. And she was in love with it. And the reason why she was in love with it is because of how she felt and what it did for her and what it did for her physical body as well. So it became a habit. Now, I've become habitual in disciplines of manifesting my dreams. And I wouldn't even think of not doing the things that I do every day that create the feeling states of attracting my desires into my life. These things like study, now meditation, listening to my Power Life script, doing visualization, doing affirmations are all a part of my daily practice because it was a decision and a commitment. But in the beginning, it was a challenge until I developed the mindset, until I developed those habits of choosing to be the person who was very disciplined. And that's when everything changed. Everything changed. Now, it takes some time, it takes some effort, but you can absolutely turn your life around and you can start right now. But stick with it. It's so important that you absolutely stick with it. One of the things that we're doing this week, and we just started a couple days ago, and we're doing this on a number of social media channels, is we have started to do something called the goal experiment. And on August 1st, and you'll find the video on Instagram, you'll find it on YouTube, you'll find it on Easy Quantum Leaps group that we have in Facebook. And what I did was on the 1st of August, I created a video and I talked about the goal experiment, where it's people choosing to be involved in an experiment of goal achievement. You have nothing to lose and it costs nothing to join, but you have many ways that you're going to benefit as a result of this. You have only gain if and when you follow through. So the idea behind it is, just imagine that you chose to dedicate a part of every day to your goals, to your dreams, to create the emotional states that attract to you what you desire, that have you in a sense of autopilot. Like you are on the trajectory for your results, and it's like a servo mechanism. Your mind is set on track. And even though you might get knocked off track, and you will get knocked off track, you put yourself right back on track again because you've developed the disciplines. So I would suggest, even though today is August 3rd, be a part of that. Find it. Find the goal experiment where we're doing it. We're just doing it on social media. And as I said, it's free, but find it and join it. Now, we have a private group on Facebook, and you can join as well. It's called Easy Quantum Leaps. Just look for it, ask to join, and we'll accept your membership. But we're also posting the videos, as I mentioned, on YouTube. So they're on the YouTube channel, so you can definitely watch them there. What I suggest is bring a friend, bring along someone that you can do this with. Why? So that you can be accountable, so that you can continue to connect with each other and remind each other of staying in alignment as you're pursuing your goals. Now, one of the things that we do when we do our live event is we do Q&A as well. Oh, I like that. Annie says, who's in? Awesome, Annie. And so Roddy, who is on our team that I'm blessed to co-serve with, has a number of questions that have already been posted here. So I'm going to go to those questions right now. The first one is from Americ. Hi, Peggy. What to do when you feel like you were used to be able to do something, but you feel like you can't do it anymore? Can you give me an example? Can you expand on that a little bit? What do you do when you feel like you were used to be able to do something, but you feel that you can't do it anymore? Okay, let me see if I understand that. So it sounds like it's a belief issue or a faith issue. And so what happens is, and this is not uncommon, that when people have built a belief, and a good belief, a strong belief of something that they do, and they get knocked off track, maybe something happens and it's traumatic in their life. And you have to put yourself right back on track. And this could be a great example. I was talking earlier about servo mechanisms like autopilot. Like there are times when servo mechanisms get locked or knocked way off track. So you got to put yourself back on track. So you have to think of, what do I need to believe in order to be back in the habit of doing something again? What do I need to believe? Or how will I choose to discipline myself in order to stick with it? And a way to do that is create a daily discipline checklist. And this is something that I've used for many, many years. I created it back in the 1990s when I decided that it was time to be even more disciplined. And therefore, I created a daily discipline checklist. And on that daily discipline checklist, I listed the things that I was committed to doing every single day. For example, listening to my Power Life script and studying every single day, doing visualization and those types of things, feeling the gratitude. And until I got the habit, or back in the habit, if that's the case, you can use a daily discipline checklist. You may also want to consider joining Club Achieve. Club Achieve is at clubachieve.com. This is a daily study group that we have where people are invited to join us. I'll study with them every day. I read, we study from many of the classics, many amazing books, all valuable books to help you grow, help you to create amazing results in your life. And it's a practice that when you get in, it'll absolutely positively change your life. So definitely check out Club Achieve, but get a daily discipline checklist, put yourself back on track, and just do not waver from your commitments to what you intend on doing every single day that are going to help you and support you. Okay. The next question is, well, thank you. Think thoughts that feel good says Club Achieve is spectacular, incredibly valuable and fun. I love that. And I agree. Okay. The next question is from Missy Moo. I have heard that excitement is a feeling that you shouldn't aim for when you are reaching for a feeling of having your goal accomplished. Is that true and why? It's interesting, Missy Moo, that you're asking that question because I heard that question this morning, in fact. And I think this is what you have to ask yourself. When you accomplish the goal, when that goal has been manifested in your life, how will you feel? How will you feel? Will you feel relaxed? Will you feel grateful? You see, excitement is a positive emotion. It's not a negative emotion. It's not a destructive emotion. But think about this. I don't think that excitement, that we can just put that into a box and say, if you feel excitement, that that's not the right emotion to feel. Let's think about this. If you have, and I'll use a personal example. When I chose to attract my husband into my life, I chose to feel what it would feel like when I had that person, that special person in my life, and when I would be enjoying the relationship as if it was happening in the present tense. And within a 2-week period, I attracted him into my life. Part of that emotion was the excitement of having him in my life and doing the things together. That's never left. We've been together now almost 18 years, and that has never left. And so is excitement a bad emotion? No, it can be a very positive emotion. The question to ask yourself is this: what will I feel when that goal has been manifested in my life? And if I ask you the question, your response might be a little different to what Vladdy might say, or what Roddy might say, or what Annie might say, or what Tommy might say. And so you simply have to ask yourself, it's not like a right, wrong answer. It's what will you feel? What will you feel when you know that that outcome has occurred in your life? And for some people, especially when it comes to money and prosperity, for some people, what they feel is relief. Like, oh, gee, thank you. Thank you. Right? Could be thank you, God. Thank you, whatever. And they feel a sense of relief. Is that a positive emotion? Yes, absolutely. If you're feeling comfortable, knowing that you're financially set for life. Now, I use that word very cautiously, but if you're feeling that relaxed, knowing you're set financially for the rest of your life, and that is a goal that you're striving for, but yet you understand the emotional experience must be felt now in the present time. And so you're feeling that sense of, I feel so relaxed. I feel so happy. I feel grateful. Then that's what you feel. You feel those emotions consistently. You discipline yourself to feel those emotions. And then you're creating the consciousness and the beliefs, like through your mindset, that are only going to support the outcome that you desire. All right. Next question is from Think Thoughts That Feel Good. What does it feel like to know one is worthy? Let me ask you that question. Let's ask everyone that's on this call. If you knew you were worthy of success, or worthy of abundance, or worthy of happiness, how would that feel? How would that feel knowing that you are worthy of the results that you desire? How would it feel? Tell me. Type in the chat box. How would that feel? If I think about myself now, I never struggled with the worthiness as it relates to money. I never did. I don't know why. Maybe because the desire was there and I chose to connect to the desire when I was young, and I loved earning money. And I just choose to earn money at a young age. And I was earning money at a young age and continue to earn money. And I define myself as a money earning machine. It's kind of like an identity that I created for myself. And therefore, that's a belief that serves me. But another area where I felt challenged was in a sense of feeling worthy of love. And I realized that after I had gone through our relationship breakup. And I just chose to increase my level of awareness and determine what's the belief that is very likely blocking me from experiencing what I desire, and realized it was a worthiness issue. And so I decided, well, what does it feel like to be worthy of love? Feels good, right? It feels confident. It feels relaxed. It feels amazing, tingling with happiness. Yeah, proud. I'm seeing some answers here now. Thank you. Yeah, Vladdy says, I always say, if you are breathing, you are worthy. Don says, fantastic. And Michelle says, we are worthy when we are born. I should feel normal. It should feel normal. I love that. Now, for Michelle, that feeling feels normal, but it doesn't feel normal for a lot of people. Why? Because the belief isn't there. So it's a simple question and a simple answer. How does it feel? Well, how does it feel to you? As we're hearing, it might be different for other people, but what does that feel like for you, knowing you are worthy of all the good you desire? Think about it. Ask yourself that question, but expect the answer. Don't tell yourself, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, because you keep telling yourself that, you're not going to get the answer. Expect to know. Be ready to know. Demand to know, and you will know. All right, we have another question here, and it's from Marianne, and she says, my soulmate in Australia is struggling, and it seems to get worse while my life is getting better. We both need money to get together. He's on pre-pension, and I'm on sick leave, and it seems hopeless. Any advice? As long as you think it's hopeless, it'll be hopeless. So you've got to throw that in the garbage. You really have to replace your belief. You have to know it's already done. Ask yourself, what would I love? What would I love? What would I love? Now, I know you've been on other events before. I've seen your name, and you can go back, go to my YouTube channel. You're going to find a lot of content there. And the thing is, what happens for a lot of people is they get on events. Like I noticed this, and I mentioned this yesterday with our Skipping Levels class, is I had said to the group, the members that are in Skipping Levels, that it's very easy while you're in this environment of positivity, while I'm teaching and guiding and responding to questions, etc., to feel good and to feel inspired and to feel positive. And whether you're reading the books or you're watching YouTube videos or you're at an event, we're doing an event, by the way, in October, a 2-day event called Masters Manifesting. And if you guys haven't booked your ticket, it's here in Ottawa. Get your ticket because it's selling out fast and we only have a limited number of seats. So you get in those environments and you may even hear things that you're already familiar with. You may hear something new. You may hear something a little differently, and you get all inspired and you get enthused and you get reconnected to your desires. But the moment you step out of that environment, what happens is, and we're talking today about habits, you are habitual in your way of being. And everyone's like that. We're all like that. We're all habitual. So you have to notice, you have to really pay attention to what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And that means an expanded sense of awareness. And when you have this expanded sense of awareness, you begin to notice that when you're thinking thoughts that are not in harmony with what you want, hopeless is not in harmony with what you want. What is it that you want? You want to have an abundance of money. You want to have all the money to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. Now, think about that for a moment. Think about that as a belief that you could adopt, that you always have an abundance of money to do whatever you want to do. I would suggest you write that down. And I would suggest that you not only say the words, because saying the words are not enough. It is a good one. You're right. Saying the words are not enough. You must feel it. Now, let's do this, okay? Say the words with me. I always have an abundance of money to do whatever I want to do. Okay, say the words. I always have an abundance of money to do whatever I want to do. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is I want you to say it with me, but really feel it, like really mean it. Okay, think about this. Think about this in your life. Okay, now let's say it again. I always have an abundance of money to do whatever I want to do. You see the difference? You see, you're bringing the intensity of the emotion. So today we're talking about how do your habits, how do your emotions, how does your mindset play a role in what your results are? The better you do that, in other words, connect emotionally to that idea, to that thought, and you do it consistently on a repetitive basis, the more you're going to impress that idea straight into your subconscious mind and it becomes a part of who you are. And then you get to a point where you're walking around all day long thinking and feeling, the feeling is a vital, important part of this. Thinking and feeling, you always have an abundance of money to do whatever you want to do. So when an experience occurs, like you see something, maybe a car goes by, or you see an ad for something, or you see or you hear about somebody who just took a trip to an island and they're on a beach and they're having a magical time. And you think the thought, and this is where habits come in. Oh, I'd really like to do that, but you can't. That's a habitual, destructive way of thinking. That's lack emotion. It's a habit of emotion of lack. But if you knew, and you create this is something that you can do. If you knew, or when you knew that you always have an abundance of money to do whatever you want to do, would you be looking at that trip or looking at that resort or looking at the beach and thinking, oh, I wish I could go? No, opposition. They are not aligned. They're opposite. But when you know, and this is a game, all right? This is a game you're playing with your mind. So if you knew that you always have an abundance to do whatever you want to do, you could use your imagination to imagine you're there. You're going there. You're flying first class. Use your imagination. And not just once, not just for, here we are, it's August the 3rd, 12 o'clock to 12:30. We're on social media. Do it after we end here. And if you have to remind yourself 183 times this afternoon, do it. Do it till it gets to be a habit. I want to encourage you to develop positive habits, habits that support you, habits that create alignment, habits that produce the results that you want. Because when you get into those habits, those positive habits, you're going to create magic in your life. And the truth is that you all have the ability to do that. That's where we started our call today. You all have the ability to create magic in your life. You all have the opportunity of having an abundance of money to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, with whoever you want to do it. All right? It's absolutely your opportunity. So we're going to call it a wrap for now. It is, just past the bottom of the hour. I am grateful to be here with you, to serve you. If you want to find out more about how we can serve you, you can go to PeggyMcColl.com. We've got a number of programs there. I've mentioned, okay. Oh, Vladdy just sent me a message. Okay, so what's the question, Vladdy? What's the question that was asked? Can you grab it and show it to me? Otherwise, it might take me a minute to find it. So she's saying that Missy Moo asked me a question. I already answered a Missy Moo question, but is there another one there that we've missed? If someone can get that for me, that would be wonderful, because I saw Missy Moo's question there, which I answered. Is there another one? Okay, let's just wait and see if somebody maybe on my team can find that question and post it. If there is a different question from what's there, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Not seeing anything, not receiving anything. Okay, there we go. Okay, Marianne, just do it. Yeah, absolutely. That's good. Keep doing it. You see, anytime you give, thank you. Anytime you give energy to what you don't want, it's poison. Bob Proctor used to say, thank you. Bob Proctor used to, hey, there's Mario. Hi, Mario. He used to say, it only takes a little bit of poison to kill. Only takes a little bit of poison. So stay away from negativity, because that will kill your results. Okay, Roddy says I answered all the questions. So thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank my team. So blessed to co-serve with an amazing group of individuals. And I look forward to being back with you again real soon. All right, take care.